Hello and welcome to this session for Sage 50 Cloud accounts and the COVID-19 reduced rate VAT changes. My name's Adrian Evans from Reality Solutions, and I'm just going to quickly run you through the changes that have been announced by the government with regards to this reduced rate of VAT to help out the hospitality, holiday accommodation and attraction industries. Okay. Firstly, we need to open up our Sage account. So I've just got some demo data here, so I'll just drag that across. Okay, so here's my software. The first point we need to do is, in order to do this, we basically need another VAT code in the system. Now, in theory, there could already be some there that you might want to use. I may already have a reduced rate one, but I think a lot of people would prefer to have this as a separate new code or to edit one of the existing ones. So what I've got in the system and the recommended code from Sage's guidance is to utilize the code T15 for this purpose. So in order to get to that, what I do is I click on Settings and Configuration. And then I go to, let's drag that one across again. Now I go to my tax codes. Okay, so I've got this in there. So I'll scroll down to T15, which we'll see is there, but isn't currently being utilized for anything. It's not in use. Okay, so I'll just double click to that one. That will pop up the box. Me to edit that one. So the first thing I need to do is to change the rate to read that it's 5%. Then I need to tick to say yes, that it needs to be included in the VAT return. And then I probably just want to give it a description. So in this case, what I'll call it is temporary VAT reduced rate. Okay, the actual name isn't that important, but it's just what you prefer to call it and refer to it as. Okay, so I'll just click OK there. Okay, so you can see that's now in there, and it says now that basically this one is in use. Okay, in order to save that away to my system, what I need to do is in this one, and there's a strange place in the system where you only click apply, you don't click save. Save basically saves it off for a different configuration. So all I'll do is I click apply, and then I click close. So now that VAT rate will be present in my system. Okay, so now we've got, from there now, we've got a couple of things that we need to do. So when we want to apply this to the new VAT rate to some or all of, so we've got possible of customer accounts, supplier accounts, product record defaults, and also like our service codes in the system as well. So all of these have sort of different areas that we might want to go to. So first I'll just go to my customer list. Okay, so I'll just click to add on a new one. So I'll just click new. Okay, and I'll just call this account TM001. The description of temporary VAT rate. Okay. Then I'll go to the defaults tab. Okay, and we see here, this is where the default tax code for this customer comes up. So if I then select from there, click on the drop down and scroll down and choose T15, I think that's shown up as 5%, and saying, yes, I want to use this default tax code for sales. Okay, if I don't tick that box, basically it puts it as a default, but it wouldn't select it then when I went to key in an order or anything in the system. It would just simply stick with the existing code. So if I tick that, that means use it for my sales that I'm recording through. Okay, and there is one exception to that, which is the S1 code, where that still takes what is set so elsewhere in the system, but we'll cover that later. Okay, so I'll click save there. So that's changing one account. If I, for instance, wanted to change multiple accounts at once, so if I say all of these needed to apply to that new rate, what I can do is I can click batch change, go onto my defaults tab, and then I can select the default tax code there and whether it's used for sales. I'm not going to change these in my system because I don't need to, but if I did need to, that would be where I'd do that. So I'd click on the drop down, select T15, tick to use default. And when I click save, that will basically update all of those customers that I've got selected in the list. Okay, so I'll click close there. So that's basically where I change my customers. Okay, if I want to change, say, an existing account, all I do is I just double click in the account, go to the defaults tab, and overtype this code. So click on the drop down, select T15, and that will then set it correctly for that customer. Okay, so that covers off customers. Suppliers now. So we've got suppliers who are going to be providing us goods, and those goods are going to be T5 by default, or T15 rather, this 5% rate. All I do is I can either use the single change or the batch change. So if I double click into an account, click on the defaults, change the tax code in there, tick if I want to apply for purchases. Okay, similarly, batch change, highlight a few, click batch change, and then you can update all of those together. Okay, so that works in the exact same way as it does updating customers. Okay, third place I've got things to do is against my product records. Again, it's the same sort of principle. So for instance, we're saying this A4 ledgers book, 5 column, should be applicable to this T15 tax rate. I'll do, double click back in there. And just on this front screen, basically you have a tax code that's applicable to this product. So again, I can go down there, scroll down, change that to T15, click save, and that's basically going to update my record for when I utilize that product on orders, etc., or on invoices. Okay, so that's the updating of the products. Again, you've got the same sort of thing with batches, which we discussed earlier. Okay, so that's the changing of products, changing of customers, changing of suppliers. Okay, so the only real sort of exception to that is when we use the S1 and the S3 code. So what we've got is if I click on the settings and I go to my invoice and order defaults, and then I go, just drag that screen back across. Then I go to my options. Okay, this is where under S1 I can select what I want that to use. So I can say that I want to use T15, or I can have it set to T1. The default is that for everybody currently, yours will be set to like T1. Mine I'd already been in and just done some updating and changing, but I'll change it back now to T15. Okay, so that's what I'm using the S1. The S3 code, whilst this one has a default there that you can set, it will also look at what you've got set against your customer account and may potentially get overridden depending upon whether you say to use the default tax code for sales. The S1 always refers to what is in here. As I say, the S3 one uses this one unless you have it set to use default tax code for sales. So that's just one to be aware of when using S1s and S3s, etc. Within your system. So I've got my S1 set, my S3 is set to sort of T5 currently. I've just changed that one to, just so we can see a difference between a normal product entry and one of these. So I'll then click OK. So now I'll proceed and I'll just go in and try and create an invoice for a customer. So if I'll just go in, I'll click to a new invoice. Okay, so I've got my reduced rate, well, temporary rate one. So where's my temp customer? So temporary VAT rate. Okay, so I'll choose, say, a normal product, say a whiteboard. Okay, and you can see from there, that's now using our T15 code as I'm trying to create an invoice for them. Okay, so I'll just do that. I'll just try S1 now. Let's use that instead. Okay, just having to drag it across the screen. Okay, so again, T15 has become applicable for that one. The last one, my S3 code. Okay, and again, T15 has been used for that one. Now that's because I tick them, and I also tick to say use the, or did I? I'll just check actually whether I did tick it against that customer account. My temporary VAT rate. Okay, yep, so I said T15 and use that default tax code for sales. So therefore they're all flowing through onto my orders and products from the usage in there. Okay, that's those. Okay, that pretty much covers this presentation. So it's just really a quick and easy guide for you guys that you can refer to. There are other resources available. So there is also help from within the Sage system. So I'll just show you the web page for that one. So we go on to Sage's website now. So we go on to okay, so it's sage.com. Sorry. /help is the one I need to go to. We go onto the help page. So I'm select whichever one I choose, doesn't really matter. They all take me to the same area. So I go to I'm a customer, get help and support. Okay, so it's Sage 50 accounts and cloud accounts. Okay, so we've got various things on that website. If I just jump back one, you can see that it does mention about the VAT changes there. So I can actually click for the help in there. Or alternatively, I can go to the VAT Change Hub, back on the previous screen. Choose that it's Sage 50 Cloud Accounts. And VAT changes in Sage 50 Cloud Accounts. They again have a similar sort of presentation that we can use, which takes us through to that area there. Okay, that concludes this little training session. So I hope you find it useful and speak to you again soon. Thank you.